Today, we're excited to tell you about 2 new features in StoneSpot that will help you to customize the way StoneSpot looks per user in your organization. And the first one we're most excited about because we think you'll be most excited about it, and it's the ability to customize your Manage Orders page.
Yeah. So in the past, you may have had a hard time finding buckets that you were in charge of, or the ones that you sort of were following. And so now there's a special little toggle button on the Manage Orders page so that you can say, these are my buckets or my tags that I want to watch. And you can toggle back and forth between seeing all of the tags and buckets or just the tags and buckets that you are interested in, that you follow or that you're responsible for. And the idea behind this, of course, is to just make life easier on the day-to-day so that when you are, just doing your work, it's faster, it's easier, it's less complex to find the bucket that you're trying to work in. So just a way to speed things up.
And there's a video below that shows you exactly how to implement that. It's very easy, but also it's great to have a video to watch so you can just get right to setting that up and managing that Manage Orders page. Managing your Manage Orders page. Customizing your Manage Orders page. So the second thing that we would like to highlight is what we call Designer View. And that has been in the system for a while. When you open up an order, up in the top left-hand corner by the print buttons and stuff, there's a little link that says Designer View. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have clicked on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if most people haven't. So if you click on it, what it does is it separates your order screen, what you're looking at on the screen of your order, into 2 columns. So it's kind of set up already to have the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And when you scroll on the screen, everything scrolls together. But when you're in Designer View, your left-hand side and your right-hand side are on separate scrolls. So you can keep this side right here, but still scroll all the way down to the Stones side, for example, over on the right-hand side. And this is useful, we found, for many things, but we initially thought designers.
For the designers, right. Yeah, and the idea was, the designers typically are some of your highest paid employees, and so you really want them working on drawings instead of looking for information and things like that. So the idea behind the Designer View was that you could get all of the information that you needed as a designer onto one screen. And so you could, for example, scroll the left-hand side up so that you could see all the files that were in file storage. And on the right-hand side of the order, you might scroll down to where you could see the inscriptions/sketch area. And so you would have all of the files that you needed and the little inscriptions/sketch area and the memorial options, and they would all be on one screen, which is impossible if it's all locked together. You can't get both of those generally onto one screen. Unless you've got a really big screen.
Yeah.
So this makes it so that you can scroll up, get everything you need on the left-hand side of the order, and then also see that inscription/sketch area. Now, as a side note, if you are a designer and you're using StoneSpot, we really recommend that you have 2 screens connected to your computer. So on one screen, you're going to have StoneSpot, and you can dial in that order using the Designer View so that you have all the information you need on that just one screen. And then on the other screen, you're going to have your design software up. And that way you can, for example, click on the inscription/sketch area, and when you click those things in that little checkered box, that will automatically put that onto your clipboard. And so then you can go to the other screen and just paste that into your design software. So we're really trying to speed up you designers out there, make it so that you can spend more time actually designing and working on the projects for the families and less time trying to find information and get it transferred. And we want to make it so that you can move as quickly as possible and have as few transcription errors as possible. And so that's kind of the idea.
Copy and paste saves those errors, right?
Yeah, and that's the idea behind the Designer View.
And that's how it got its name, Designer View. But don't let it fool you. For those of you who aren't designers, we've actually seen it become very popular and useful to just any other user in StoneSpot. And I'll just give one quick example so you could think if it might be useful for you. But I was watching someone use StoneSpot the other day, and they were typing something to a client. So they're in the collaborator section on the left-hand side of the screen. But they needed to look at something in the stone information. And so they had started typing, and then they scrolled down to the stone, and then they were trying to memorize size or color or something, and then scroll back up and type it in there. And I was like, designer view. And so you just click that, and the collaborator section stayed right where it was, and you could pull the stone up, and it's sitting there, and you can just look and type, and there was no memorizing. Way more likely you're going to be accurate, and just so convenient. So
it's a good trick.
Yeah, good little trick. So the other thing is, we had people start using Designer View and then say, hey, I love Designer View. I hate that I have to open the order, then click Designer View. I just wish it was always in Designer View. And that's the new feature with the Designer View, is now you can make the Designer View your default, and then you can still click back to the other view if needed. So there's a video below that explains how to make that your default. And that's it. Those are the ways that we are hoping you can customize StoneSpot to be even a little more efficient for you to use.